Watercolor artist and puppeteer Teresa Moler has been performing marionette and original hand puppet shows since age 9. Let's meet Teresa and her friends.
I'm Teresa, and I'm a watercolorist and a puppeteer. Well, I consider myself a puppeteer since I was born. I got a hand puppet, and that was my first interaction with the hand puppets. Then when I was 6 years old, I saw a marionette in a toy store window, and I looked at it, and I said, this is going to be the interest for the rest of my life. And I got it for my 7th birthday along with the cardboard stage, and there was instructions on how to work it on the box, and I started practicing, and I started performing for neighborhood children and stuff, and then I got another marionette and another marionette. They're string puppets. Another marionette after that, and I just gave my first public performance when I was 9 years old, and then later on I got into hand puppetry, and so I've been doing hand puppets now, also besides marionettes. I have original scripts. I make up all my characters. I do all the voices. I make up all the stories. Sometimes they're just fantasy, like my Magic Feathers story is kind of fantasy, but the others are more like light comedy. And I have lots of different shows I've done. I've done hundreds of shows, and right now I have maybe about 7 shows right now that are shovel-ready that I can perform. Well, I guess I prefer marionettes a little bit over hand puppets because I'm fascinated by string myself, and I love untangling string, and it's just the flow of the marionettes, and just I converted my garage into a puppet room. It's filled with hand puppets and marionettes, so I say maybe about I haven't counted them really, but maybe about 40 marionettes and maybe 40 hand puppets. I don't know. Well, over the years, my favorite puppet has changed her name. It was Juanita when I first created her, and now I call her Jennifer, and she is my favorite character. I perform for children and families. A lot of adults say they enjoy my shows. I have one mainly adult show that I do, and that's about 6 minutes. I do it for variety shows. I got an unusual inspiration from somebody who I was working with. They wanted me to do a show about groundhogs for Groundhog Day, and I put it on the back burner. And then finally one day I was sitting in the dentist office, and they were flossing my teeth, and I thought, oh, that's funny, and I started imagining and thinking of things, and I thought, oh, how about if I perform a show called Groundhog Sees String? It's about a groundhog that comes out and sees a string and follows it to someone's house, and the person lets the groundhog in instead of their cat in, and so it's just a really interesting story. But the stringy things, it's about stringy things and stuff. Well, I've been painting, since all along, but I first considered myself a painter in the 90s. I started off with acrylics, went to New York to visit my mother, and I was in her apartment, and I was scared to go out into New York City. So I started painting these abstract acrylic paintings. Then later on, I got into watercolor, like in the 2000s. I had received some watercolor instruction before, but my friend Lois, who helped me with puppetry, suggested I take watercolor from her friend. In my living room, I have a desk set up, and one thing I like about watercolors is it's not very messy, so I could just paint in my living room, and I have a table set up for that. I love to paint animals. I guess painting animals and people are my favorite types of paintings. A favorite painting. I have one that means a lot to me, an abstract painting that was done in acrylic. I was in the middle of painting it, and I got a knock on a door, and I received some sad news that my grandfather had died, so I stopped painting that, and I never finished that painting. And I also, after I went through that, my painting style changed a little bit. That's probably the most meaningful painting in my life. I consider myself a Renaissance woman because I also write poetry and I compose music, songs. I'm studying voiceovers right now. Because I enjoy changing my voice and doing different characters. Another important part in my life is that I am a mental health advocate. I did happen to have a nervous breakdown when I was 19 years old, and I'm in remission right now from it, and I'm very involved in the mental health system and advocating for mental health for myself and others. Art can be therapeutic to someone. It used to be therapeutic to me, and I really don't use I use art more to express myself rather than for therapy, but I used to use it for therapy. It used to be to let out my emotions and stuff, and now I just try to use it to communicate. Puppetry is a verbal communication that's visual also, and I like the verbal part of it, and watercolors is just something that's really like a dance in my life, and it's just really important to me. Since 2000s, I came up with the Frizzy Chef idea, a spin-off on Julia Child. Well, I am Julie Kidd, and I am called the Frizzy Chef, and I film shows on TV, cooking shows, in fact. And I love to cook. I really love to cook because it's so wonderful. And the veggie monster lives in my house, and he eats vegetables all the time. And it's terrible. That's all he does is sit around and eat vegetables. But I love to cook. I cook pasta. I cook spaghetti. I cook vegetables. I cook everything for everybody. This is Zinko the veggie monster. I love to eat vegetables. I put them in my mouth, but not my hand. No, don't put your hand in your mouth. No, I eat vegetables all day. Yes. Oh, no, I like all vegetables, but don't eat the grass outside. I tried that once. I went and Duncan was eating grass, and I tried the grass. It was really, really bland. Julie was saying that all I do is sit and eat vegetables all day. She told me to go for a walk. So I walked outside and I saw all these animals. It was so nice to meet those animals. I gave them each a vegetable to eat, and they all calmed down and they were all really nice animals. And we're going to have a vegetable party one of these days. I'm going to invite all the animals to come to the vegetable party. I have some puppets I made, but my friend Barb made Zinko for me, especially because I had a different veggie monster before, and she made him for me special and stuff. Yeah. And I found I was able to do a Bernie Sanders impression, and I thought, well, I'll ask somebody to make a Bernie Sanders puppet for me. My friend Natalie made this Bernie Sanders puppet, and he's actually in my show called The Melting Pot, which is for adults. It's a 6-minute show, and it used to be John Edwards that showed up, and I decided that John Edwards was outdated, so I put in Bernie Sanders. I actually had a meeting with Bernie Sanders in person, and I showed him the Bernie Sanders puppet, Today, I would like to talk to you a little bit about immigration. Immigration is something that concerns us all, and I would like to elaborate on that one. Immigration for All is my platform here. You out there, you are a real melting pot. You are all diverse, and you all are different, and you all blend together, and you work together. At least I hope you do. I commend you all for being different and having different interests, because you are a real melting pot. Thank you. This is Jennifer and Matilda, her mother. The character Jennifer has been with me since I was 9. Then Matilda is new. I got her in 2016 for the show called The Sock Show. You know, my name is Jennifer, and I just love to play. I love to go out and play. I have a dog, you know, and I take my dog for walks, and sometimes he runs away, and I don't like to do laundry. My mother makes me do laundry a lot of times and fold the clothing, but, you know, I have to go out and look for the socks mates because they go missing a lot. Anyway, that's a little bit about myself. I just love to go outside and play with my friends, you know. And my name is Matilda here, and I am Jennifer's mother here. Jennifer, did you fold the clothes today? Oh, Mom, I didn't. Well, that's perfectly okay, but I would like you to fold the clothes today. Okay, I guess so. Okay, well, anyway, I am Jennifer's mother, and I'm very invested in Jennifer here, and we do a thing called the Sock Show that's about missing socks, and I am there to make sure that I have all my socks and they're paired up properly and their mates are found and stuff like that. Well, anyway, I have a husband who loses his glasses sometimes, and once he let in a groundhog. He thought it was our cat, but he let in a groundhog, and the groundhog got all over the furniture and messed everything up. Now that's quite a gentleman I have there for a husband here. If I had some advice for somebody, I would advise them to work on their own, and if they're unable to work on their own, to receive instruction from somebody who knows about puppets, like a puppeteer, or look for a puppet organization. Like there's an organization out of Brookline, Mass. that can help you out. There's lots of different puppets. Choose what type of puppet you want to do, and then practice it. If you don't know how to work it, then receive an advice of somebody who does know how. Because when I was growing up, I didn't receive any formal instruction in puppetry until I was 16 years old. And then I most of it was self-taught. My puppetry was self-taught. But I would have wished I would have received instructions earlier on and learning how to make the puppets too. I wish I would have learned more about making the puppets earlier on too. So, for more information, email me at t_moler@comcast.net.
Thank you for joining our virtual Art Week. City Arts Nashua appreciates the support of our sponsors and of you, our viewers. Please continue to support our local artists and our musicians and our theater groups. For more information on arts in Nashua, visit cityartsnashua.org.